We are Legion.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to the Legion of Comics. I'm Mark, and I'm joined by Tyler from Whack Comics.
Here I am. What's up, guys?
And we got a lot to say, but before that, check this out. I normally don't care about doing the whole intro thing in the morning times like that, but I'm trying to share some stuff out. So I want to give everyone a minute to like, share, subscribe.
No, that's fine. Do it. Go for it. And go to Whack Comics to do the same thing.
Absolutely. It's the place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some big stuff coming up that we'll probably talk about later, but we don't need to talk about it right now.
Yeah. You can if you want while I do this.
Okay. Lee got a press pass like literally yesterday to go to a Comic-Con.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's today. So he just like asked last minute and got it, and now he's going. So he's like super pumped. I'm so jealous. I've never even been to a con. One day I'm gonna go and I'm gonna borrow a Two Brothers rig and film above everything. It's gonna be amazing. What's up, guys?
Oh, there's a chat. I'm sorry. We got B. Ramey in the chat. What is going on, brother? Good morning, Hoarder's Hide. Chip, how's it going today? Glad you could pop in. I got to make sure to put this link into the silent reading chat for Chaos. He loves it when I drop links.
I don't know if I don't think it's really political, but something happened near you, B. Ramey and Indy. You should look it up if you haven't already. My sister lives near Indy, and I messaged her to see if she was all right and everything. But some crazy stuff happened in Indianapolis, so.
I didn't hear about what happened.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to get into it, but there was a shooting at like a shipping place. I think it was FedEx.
Oh, that's horrible.
Like a mass shooting. I don't know any details besides that.
Within the last 24 hours?
Yep.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know literally any details. I literally heard it at work and messaged my sister, and that's all I know.
Is she near that area?
Yeah, she lives right by Indy. I couldn't even tell you what city it is, but because she's always in Indy, so she just says Indy.
Okay.
Yeah, FedEx. That's what Chip and Dan just said. Eight people died. Wow, I did not hear that. So it must be on the national news. This happened
yesterday or overnight?
It was either, I haven't looked into it. Just like I said, I was at work, so I wasn't even able to like type it in. It's hard enough just to even text people back at work sometimes. Yeah, I knew you did, B. Ramey, because my sister went to Ball State. Like, she just graduated like 2 years ago or something like that.
All right, so CNN is talking about Russian people. ABC is talking about the British. Local news is talking about Colgate. Dude, YouTube TV is fantastic. Like, I love YouTube TV. But look, y'all hear me talk about my buddy Bart over in Belgium. Good friend over in Belgium, and a week ago he called me to ask what was going on in Florida because his wife keeps up with like news and stuff like that. And I said, I don't know. Pretty much everything goes on in Florida. And they said that there's a levee or something that was compromised that was holding back waste materials and stuff that was getting into a river. So I turned on the local news and the national news to see if it was reporting on it, and it wasn't. It was all the news was reporting on Russia or China and the Olympics being in China and how that was controversial. And we came to the realization that for some reason, all the news all over the world likes to talk about other countries a lot. And it's been like so much in my attention now. When I turn on news, they're talking about Russia, royal family, and like it's just I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, I don't watch the news, so that's interesting. I would have never known that. I literally won't watch it.
It was news to me to realize that news reports on other people's news.
Yeah, that is funny.
Oh wow, B. Ramey's right close by.
Yeah, he probably lives right where my sister lives. I think she's right about there.
They got a thing going on.
Yep. She's single. So if you know anyone good, B. Ramey, let me know.
Steve, don't put your phone in the shower, dude.
Why not?
Whack
Just put it in a Ziploc bag. Yep. Hey, Remy Q, what's up?
Remy, you got the link in your chat too. Just throwing that out there.
He came into ours the other morning and he showed a book that he just got in the mail that wasn't there. It was literally just a bag and board with no book. Yeah. And cardboard.
No, is that how they sent it, or are you like making
it? No, I'm not making a joke. That's how they sent it. He literally
just sent him a bag and board.
They sent him a bag and board with cardboard in it from a book he bought.
Now, was that intentional, or did the people not know that the book wasn't inside the cardboard like they might have thought?
I don't know. I asked him if it happened to be like in between the cardboard, or if I'm hoping that he can get a refund or something. So that's some BS.
I get because like you said, in between the cardboard, I get these ENIAC books I got, they just put two good pieces of the cardboard around them, then put them into their mailers. I wonder if they assumed that they had books kind of preset ready to
hopefully.
Or something. Yeah, hopefully that wasn't intentional. I mean, like obviously with virus protections with like eBay and stuff, they would assume that they're just going to get their money back or something. I don't know.
Well, maybe he can tell us here when he jumps on at some random point.
Good morning, Biggie Shack.
What's up,
How
Biggie?
are you? Appreciate you stopping in. All right. Well, we've been going for just a minute, so let's talk first impressions because everyone knows it's Friday. So Falcon Winter Soldier episode 5, the second to last episode came out, as well as Invincible episode I don't know what because they started with 3, so I'm thrown off of my numbering.
I think it's 6.
Okay, so we'll go with that. So Invincible 6 and Falcon Winter Soldier 5 came out. So it's been a good morning so far. Just my initial thoughts, I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was like a very, very awesome episode in terms of the storytelling. It was very well-rounded. It had everything it needed in it, and it was really good. Invincible, it was all right. This episode, it was all right.
Huh. Well, my first impressions were that Falcon Winter Soldier was kind of boring, but I loved the interaction with Falcon and Winter Soldier. That stole the show. I really wish it was just them the whole time because everything about that was good. And then actually a montage. There's like a couple montage scenes that were really well done. And it's funny because normally I don't think montage scenes are stand out, but this did stand out. There's a big scene of him going back home. That's all I'll say. That was like, I really don't care what's happening at all, like this whole time. But it was all right.
That's one thing, like that scene you're referring to is one thing that I thought was good for the show because as dumb as the first episode was, and it was dumb, like it was really, really dumb. So having that scene kind of did a little bit of course correcting. And when I said it had what it needed story-wise, this was a good episode for driving the story. It did have some action. It didn't have it wasn't an action-packed episode, but what it did was it started tying plot threads, that were laid down through the show so that by the time we end the final episode next week, it should be looking at it as 6 episodes, a well-told story. So
yeah, it for sure did that. It almost
that's what this episode
checked
was.
more boxes than actually got me excited. I guess it definitely checked the boxes though.
And I think that's good because otherwise we would watch the episode next week and be like, what's up with this?
Yeah.
Or why'd y'all pack all this? This seemed rushed. That's such a common thing you hear people say with finales of comics, with finales of TV shows, with the final acts in movies. Oh, they rushed it at the end. They rushed it at the end. It kind of seems like a common complaint for people to make when they don't really have specifics, because you just get this feeling when you're watching it. You're like, that just was a little off. It felt rushed. So I'm glad that they kind of attacked these obvious plot threads that we would remember as soon as the series ended if they didn't. I do have a shirt. Oh, that's cool. Come here. Let me look at your shirt and look at my shirt.
You guys match? Look at that. They match. And I'm the opposite of Superman. I'm the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, but the colors are there.
Yeah.
Put me down. You want another cookie? All right, I'm going to throw it across the room. You got to go over there and get it and stay over there. That's how you get them away. I'm not going to throw your cookie.
It's like fetch.
Yeah, except don't come back.
Except run away.
Yum, yum. I've learned to keep cookies next to the computer when I'm streaming. Just here. Now he's running off on his own. He's like a dog. He'll run back and hop in his Batmobile where Netflix is playing for me. He'll just sit there and eat his cookie.
That sounds like a good life. I wish I could sit in my Batmobile and eat a cookie and watch Netflix.
Hashtag winning. Thought it was a great build-up episode. Loved the Gatorade commercial type workouts, but thought some of the flip sequences was unneeded. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it's fun just to see people showcase, and it was cool seeing him just like, I guess it was definitely unnecessary. Like it could have done without it, but it didn't hurt it having it in there, seeing him pushing himself and stuff like that, and kind of just showing you, just reminding us that he's more capable than an average person. So when what comes next happens, we assume, he's not just completely out of his element,
I liked that because I thought it showed a lot of like, can't he really do this? He was almost like proving it to himself. Oh,
what's up?
What's up?
Hey, listen, I was just going to listen, and then I heard you talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier and Invincible, and I figured we might as well just chalk up Falcon and Winter Soldier to hogwash and talk about the real show, Invincible.
Get us in. Nice segue.
And I'd like to formally apologize to Tyler. I don't want to say I called him a liar, but I was a disbeliever. And I feel like if and I don't want to age myself because it's an amazing movie, but if you remember in Conan the Barbarian where
he just froze after Conan.
Buddy. And all the guys grab Arnold and they're like, infidel, and they grab Conan and like bring him up front and then they beat him to death. Like that's kind of what I did.
Well, he's chopping in and out, so I'm just going to keep showcasing Conan.
That's my 2 cents while I'm driving in North Carolina. I know I keep like cutting out. I feel like I'm Forrest Gump. Like that's all.
That's what I was about to say. This is that scene from Forrest Gump. Yeah. But you just moved the whole crowd, Remy.
And that's all I have to say about that. Uh-oh, there he goes. So you didn't believe me that Invincible was going to be that good. I mean, I know you said you didn't really like this episode of Invincible. I loved it. I thought it built everything. It did exactly what this last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier did, just like move the story. But I think it just did it. It did it better. But that's just me. I loved it.
I think I'm just like springboarding it against the other episodes. I feel like in both of these shows, there's just a couple of aspects of the show because there's plenty going on in both of them. You know, there's plenty going on, but there's just certain aspects that just really stand out as more interesting to me. And in Invincible, it's the Omni Man thing, and I think I'm just kind of getting very very anxious to get into that more.
Well, I agree completely. I wish they would have already like gotten to that point, but
But
I
they're
think
doing a good job
well.
keeping me completely hooked because they just give us such small amount of screen time moving it forward. And every episode addresses it, adds to it, and it's at a critical point. I feel like we are on thin ice with it. And I know that this is an animated series, but you know, you hear people talking about with live action series like framing shots and stuff like that, and the scene where he's on a roof hanging out with a certain character, the symbolism that they put into that with the dialogue, with time running out right as like a bottle's empty, and then popping the cap on one like right in front of someone's face, you know, and just there was just so much symbolism back to back. It was fantastic. Like they put a lot of thought into this. They're not just throwing crappy animation up. So big kudos to the animation department. Even when Invincible's flying, you know, when he makes a quick turn, it's not just choppy turn. You see him like literally flip. Like he'll flip in the middle of a turn and take off. And it's real subtle. You know, there's no reason to have to do it. They just decide to make sure that they're putting out quality animation. And it was really cool to catch those little things.
Yeah, did you catch who was the voice of this last bad guy?
The snobby bad guy?
Yeah.
No, to be honest with you, I haven't been really good about catching voice actors. I didn't even catch Seth Rogen's. I think it's because I'm just kind of my mind's looking at different things while I'm watching it. Not really.
Oh yeah, I'm not very good at it either, but I thought you specifically might catch it. It was Ezra Miller.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, fam. Hey. Hey. My daughter comes in holding a toy, a bai water, passing her mouth, trying to show me all of it. She walks around like she's eternally drunk because she's one.
Look what I've got.
Holding a bottle. Unstable
whatever they're holding, just yeah.
Exactly. Monkey, come here. I see it. My wife just gave her a num and she just looks at me and just witness. You remember Mad Max Fury Road, the crazy war dogs? Witness me. That's like my daughter. Everything she does. Yeah. So overall, it was another fantastic Friday morning. Great way to start a day off.
Yeah, it really was.
We got a lot of big things going on today. We're trying to get Finn into a preschool program. You know, they do preschool programs. Like I remember, like when I was growing up, you had like kindergarten and you had preschool. You know, for like but now they kind of they start them earlier for kids at 3, and it's not like a full day or anything like that, but it's just to get them used to interacting with other kids. Like it's such loose structure, but it is structure, and they do things that are, you know, actually educational. You know, they're not in there like reading books or nothing like that, you know, but they're talking about colors and alphabet and all that and having group time. The interaction's great, but there's summer programs that go for like a week, you know, for just a couple of hours a day. And he's itching to get in school, like itching. He loves
that's
that
cool.
idea of it. Yeah. It's a big driving factor in a lot of like the developmental stuff that he's supposed to be on, like talking about how we got to make sure we're doing this and make sure you use the potty when you need to and blah, blah, blah. Because he wants to go to school, you know, and that's what it is. And luckily we live where there's a lot of them right around us. Most of them are the places rent out church buildings for it, where there's playgrounds and already classroom type stuff. So
you can just walk there.
We could. I mean, there's one.
Just point the right direction, and he can make
one's
it.
like a 10-minute walk, and the other one would be like a 20-minute walk.
Well, that's no big deal.
No, it's not. And he's 3 now, so he can really probably navigate
Yeah.
traffic. Like if you ask any adult, how long have you been navigating traffic? And they said 3 years, you'd be like, dude, that is efficient. So he's 3. There's no different. He can
You can
navigate
do it.
traffic.
Look both
Oh, yeah.
ways. Keep your hands up so you're tall enough so they see you.
Yeah, just put like little reflective gloves on them
Yeah.
and just walk like your sister.
Yeah.
They can't miss you. So I know by this point in the week, you've probably read some indie books that I've never heard of.
Yeah, I feel like I've read a bunch this week, but I actually still have a bunch more to read. So I think we're doing a silent reading time Saturday potentially. So
This
I'll
Saturday,
get to, yeah. So I'll get to
I
read
might
some
have to
more.
be able to make it, dude. That's pretty cool. Might.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think we are. So what did I read this week? I read Suicide Squad because of you and Ryan talking about it.
Like that
But
one was from, yeah, that was from last week, right?
Yeah, from last week. But I haven't read
let's-
number 2 yet. I've only read number 1.
Okay. Well, what do you think of number 1?
It was amazing.
Right?
It was so good. So it's like they're going in to save Talon. And Talon like doesn't remember who he is basically, and then we find out we're gonna get at the very end Superboy. Is that who it is?
Yeah, that's Con-El, the clone. Hey, Wookie. Hey. Now, save is a very funny word to refer to. That is what they ended up doing inadvertently because of A-Day going down. Like, and I love how well some of the continuity in DC is crisscrossing and overlapping right now because they go to steal Talon for Amanda Walker, like just straight steal this dude so she can manipulate him.
Obviously,
they just happen to be doing it when the mysterious inmate genocide occurs from the unknown criminal who we're coming to obviously find. I mean, we as readers kind of assumed already it was Scarecrow. Joker's being blamed for it, but it's overlapping with that. So them getting him out when they did is potentially going to save his life.
Yeah, it was so good. Like I don't really know why I didn't pick it up. I should have picked it up right off the bat because I love Tom Taylor's run so much. So I kind of I should have assumed that this one was going to be good.
How about the interior artwork in it? Like some interior art these days, I don't want to say it looks anime, but it looks almost like it's animation style. Like the artist on Superman is very animation style. The artist on the new Harley Quinn, very animation. But this stuff is like very, very, very good.
Here's the picture I picked for my review, and that's just eyes. Like, man, this is some like really good art.
It's legit.
You said that. Yeah. So then I also read The Joker #2. Did you read that?
Oh yeah.
That has been surprisingly amazing. I was not expecting to like that at all, honestly. I didn't even really want to pick it up, and I absolutely love it. And it shouldn't be named The Joker. Like, I guess I get it. It does center around the Joker, but that was more of just a selling point than anything else. I would love if it was called like Hunt the Joker or something like that. But it was super good.
I don't know. I understand where you kind of get that because it's not like giving Joker all the panel time, but I think that is a completely appropriate name title because it is about the Joker. You know, I know we're not staying on him so much. But I pointed it out last night that even with the small amount of panel time Joker's gotten, we still have just as much story. Like if you had to write down what's going on in this book to give to somebody as cliff notes, it would be pretty much equal amount for Joker and Gordon at this time. Even though we're spending so much time on Gordon, like story and plot wise, we're getting about the same for each character. They're just diving more into the character profile of Gordon and the surrounding people around him. You can't really do that with the Joker. There's no diving into his character to be done. You know, he's absolutely psycho, and that's all there is to it. There's nothing else to go with that.
I thought this was probably the wordiest DC book I've ever read that I loved every second of.
Yeah, I appreciated that because we paid $5.99 for it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we paid $5.99 for it, so I definitely appreciated the fact that I wasn't done with it in 5 minutes. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And the dialogue that it was there, it was mainly interactions between Gordon, Barbara, and Batman.
Mm-hmm.
And that was awesome.
Yeah, they really cut deep on like every level of like in the past, what's going on now, what just happened in the last Batman issues. It's like they catch you up on everything. If you haven't been reading, this is a great starting point because they catch you up on everything in the best way too. It doesn't feel like it's just spewing out what's happened. It's actually within the conversation. I love that. I think that's really hard to do. Yeah, Simon, you're digging Joker. Yeah, it's great. It's so good. I think I saw you get a couple covers.
Yeah, I had the 1 in 25 in my hand Tuesday. I had Batman Detective 1 in 25 and the Joker #2 1 in 25 in my hand, and I'm like, I'm gonna pass on the Batman one. It was a gorgeous cover, but I don't really variant chase like that. I do artist chase, obviously. Like I collect all of Jang's variants.
Yeah, that's how I am too. I'm not a big variant chase, but if I have an artist, that's for sure what I want.
And there's definitely certain ones that might just strike my fancy, but I'm not like running out trying to get all the variants. Now, Dan is onto something. He's variant chasing these Batman 1 in 25 books now. I think he said, which is this is like, if you don't just go crazy on variants everywhere, it's fun to actually see one that you like and kind of try to collect the set. Like I'm doing that with the Justice League 59. I have all 3 of the Snyder Cut ones, and now I have 2 of 3 of the black and white ratio variants. And I don't feel guilty or feel like I'm blowing excess money on getting books that won't really hold their value down the road. Think, don't be careful. These kids are crazy.
Yeah, I got those Snyder Cut ones too. Just because I liked the movie so much, I had to get them, and then one of them's for Mayho. So, yep, there it is.
Now this is the 1 in 50.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is sweet.
It is.
That's better than the colored one.
There's for his most definitely the Liam Sharp 1 in 25. I prefer the color one on it because he does some cool effects with the colors on it, especially with Steppenwolf's armor.
Mm-hmm.
But normally when they do that with the ratios where they take just the regular cover and then black and white it, I'm like, that's pretty lazy. Kind of like the 1 in 50 for Joker 2 that's Bane's daughter pulling the mask on. That's not a cover photo. That's literally a panel out of the book they just put on the cover.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to pay anybody to do that. That was very lazy of them. It's a cool image. Super lazy. Super lazy.
Yeah, I was just telling Mark before that I wanted to get the Bermejo of this Joker #2, and I walked into my shop and they didn't have any because it had that character in it, and everyone bought them up. So I was so disappointed. So stupid. I hate the.
I don't even think I'm familiar with that. I don't even think I'm familiar with that cover, to be honest with you.
The 1 in 25 Batman sketches.
Oh, the Bermejo cover.
Oh, the Bermejo. It's got Punchline on it.
I'm pulling it up now. Oh, the one that everyone else got. The one where she's laying on top of all the Jokers.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking
fire.
for. Yeah, it didn't matter. I think everything he does is fire. But then I saw he did Punchline. I was like, oh, I definitely want it because I think I'm actually gonna put them all behind me up here. And then I don't have him doing a Punchline yet. So I definitely wanted that one. But, if I get it for cover, that's cool. If I can't, then I'm not going to get it. Or maybe I can get it in like a year from now when it goes back down. Like the Robin Crow. I think Robin Crow shot right back down.
Which one?
The Legends of the Dark Knight. First Robin. No, it wasn't Robin King. What was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Robin King. The 1 in 25 hasn't really gone back down yet. I've been watching it. I got that graded at a 9.8. Got that back. Didn't even clean and press it.
I think that was cardstock too, right? That's a cardstock cover.
Yeah, I think so. And I got it for cover price for my LCS. He was awesome. So there was an error with Diamond. I think no, yeah, at that point DC was still with Diamond. I think that was toward the end of their run. I don't know. Either way, it might not have been, but he wanted 25 copies of the regular book, which would have 25 copies of the A cover and the B. It was something like that, but whatever it was, they sent him 25 of the 1 in 25s.
What?
So what he did was he sold them all to cover price only to his regular customers, because
Wow, that's
why
crazy.
why would you not take the opportunity to bless your customers? You know what I mean? And he doesn't overprice variants either. He definitely now he's starting to look them up a little bit and check the price and then undercut the price that stuff is going for. But he doesn't he doesn't do online sales and stuff like that. And I posted where my pickups on Facebook, and naturally, when you post stuff on Facebook, because of how toxic the community is on Facebook, like, oh, that's BS. You didn't get that for cover price, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
I just took a picture of the receipt and posted it, and then people started direct messaging me. Like, do you really got that? And one guy called the shop, asked him if he could buy one and mail it to him, and and the owner said he's only selling them to locals. So he asked if he could at least hold one, and the guy drove for 4 hours from North Carolina to my LCS to buy one and drove 4 hours back in the same day.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I would never do that. I'm not that committed.
I mean,
would rather
if your
pay
goal is just to
$100.
turn around and sell it, well, if your goal is just to pick one up, turn around and sell it, you just got paid $300 for an 8-hour drive. That's all.
Was it 300? Is that how much it went for initially?
Yeah, the day of they were selling for 300, then it's dropped down to about 200, and it's been hanging out roughly around 200. I haven't checked it in about a week or two, but that's where it was.
Graded, right?
Yeah, 9.8 graded.
Yeah.
When they first were coming out, obviously they weren't graded yet. But
yeah.
Pocan Joe there from Blasting and Stashing Comics tonight at 10 p.m. Blasting and Stashing Comics, one of the most entertaining and fun live comic review shows I've ever found. It's definitely where I'm at on Friday nights at 10. But yesterday on his weekly haul review, he gave the best description of this. And he said it's getting a Guy Ritchie feel where all these villains and all these bad guys in different places are doing their own thing, and they're kind of converging on this kill point. And Joker is the focal point of that kill point. And it's really cool. Like, what did you think of the weird cannibal family in the beginning? Like, very sophisticated Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, it was very weird. Like, the book starts off and you see like one panel for each family member. In the first panel, you see a big guy wiping blood off his hands. In the next panel, you see a dude in the kitchen with dead bodies hanging up and cut up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember that now. I guess I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
What world do you live in where you see human bodies being butchered in a kitchen and you're like, yeah, that's normal?
Oh, yeah. It's another day.
Honestly,
I didn't know what was going on, so that's why I didn't connect it.
What is up, Nosh? Good morning, man. We got Corey. Do you have beans there? Corey, quick update on your Department of Truth John Jang set that I ordered. I got a email from Greg, the guy who owns Heat Seekers Comics, and he said that they have noticed there is a printing error on a lot of them where there's a lot of printing color rub coming off of them on the back. So Greg, being a cool guy, he reached out to Image and asked for replacements. So people who already got their books are able to return them to him to get the replacements from Image. And I have tracking on mine, but I have to go in and look to see if it actually shipped or if he just created tracking. So I have to reach out to him today to see if I'm waiting on one of the clean copies or if I'm going to need to return the ones that I get to him and get the cleaner copies. I don't know if you plan on grading it, but the pictures that he sent me, they are not 9.8 candidates, so that much ink were coming off the back of them. But I would be fine with it. I don't really care, it's for my PC, but being that other people's books are involved in this, I want to let you know, and just message me and let me know what you think as well. What is up, Pancake Cargo? One of Joker's collabs I'm waiting on. Dude,
Nice.
when you put in the chat that Joker 2 was blowing up, I went on line and hit it up to see what it was talking about, and I couldn't even get it to pull up because it was just the original Joker series, Joker 2 coming up, and it just made me think that this is some amazing cover work on those. Those are really nice. So did you read Batman Detective?
Oh yeah, I read that too.
What did you think?
It was really good. I loved the beginning and then what we learn about the beginning later, but I didn't get it's in London, right? That's where it is.
Yeah.
I didn't get a London feel from it at all. I thought that was really weird. But I
really
loved
you really got into it
that could be it. But I definitely thought there'd be like a really big splash page or just something to really like separate it. Like, hey, we're in a different place. And I didn't get that feeling from it. But it's not even really a complaint.
I got the feeling that Tom Taylor really showed Kirkman how to do a fall from an airplane scene properly. Because that issue of Firepower where they're falling from the airplane.
Oh yeah.
That one issue where they're falling for 5 issues. I'm like, man, come on.
Yep. Yeah, that was a long one. But I thought it was really good.
I enjoyed it.
Just the writing itself, I thought was really good. I love Tom Taylor so much. I think he just knows how to write Batman.
I do too. And I was talking about how I think this was an epic direction to take. It isn't like it's like hashed itself out all the way yet or been crazy, but it's a really entertaining and enjoyable start, though, going at Batman from this area of complete and utter failure and self-realization of what am I really doing. Good morning, new guy. I just sent you the link in case you're free to hop on. Mi casa es su casa. And my buddy Brent tried to call me. He said, dude, I'm Pancake Cargo. I just my buddy Brent tried to call me. I got to get this link to him. As he gets off work in the mornings, I want to send him a link to jump on. I don't know why. My phone never has any sounds turned on anymore, ever.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm at work or out of the house, I have my watch on, so I always know if someone's calling me or texting me. But I never have my notifications are on, but my sounds aren't. So I just have to
What's up, Panda?
look at it.
Oh, did you get Kanto?
No, I haven't read it. I haven't ever read Kanto. I just kind of they don't really do spoilers on Two Brothers comics. They don't really review comics. They kind of just do impressions. So I never really heard much of the story or anything, but I've heard nothing but positive stuff about him, which Kanto seems like it's a lot of people excited,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that they because it got whatever for a series,
Mm-hmm.
an animated series, but real quick, tell everyone how good Kanto was. I've got to run, use the restroom real quick.
Okay. Yeah, so I read Kanto. It's the first issue of the 3rd series, and it was really good. Basically, Kanto is going into this city of giants, and he meets 2 of his former giant friends that are stuck, and he wants to get them out. So he has to go to the city of giants and figure out a way where he can barter with them, basically, to get his 2 friends out of this situation. So it was really good. And then I also read Serial number 3. This right here is what I never thought I would do, is just talk about comics by myself on YouTube. So this is kind of funny. Serial number 3 basically is about a serial killer. And it's this unsuspecting girl. I don't know how old she is. And this was a really good issue. You get to see her trophies that she's kept from past murders. And you could see another murder, which was really cool. Serial is amazing. Have you read Serial?
Me?
No, I figured you hadn't, but
I have
it's so good.
A couple issues of Ice Cream Man, so I feel like that's as close to Serial as I've ever got.
Yeah, Serial is really good. Oh, we got someone joining us?
Yeah, I clicked on it and then he dropped out.
Oh, okay. I also read Silver Coin from last week. Did you read that one?
I did not, but it was the Comic Bet's top pick.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, it probably would have been my top pick if I read it last week. The ending alone, like the story just like grabbed me right off the bat, and then the ending was like, what is happening? What is this? I can't wait for issue number 2. And I think we've got like different writers on it each time. So Silver Coin was written by Zdarsky, and I think Lemire writes a different one. And so each one will have a different writer, but it kind of like progresses from the previous issue. What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Right when I clicked on you to pull you up, I think you dropped off.
Yeah, the internet connection was a little weird. Sarah's been doing some remote monitoring, so for like her second job, so it kind of stretched it a little thin there. So,
did you go pull the plug on her?
Yeah, just to kick her off.
Yeah, it was, she was actually just getting off. Like, I think it was her. She was giving shift change to some other people, so I think we're good to go.
That's pretty personal information for you to divulge of her.
Yeah, probably.
She's just getting off.
Oh yeah, no,
Good for her.
I mean, that's out of my wheelhouse there. So,
anyways, welcome back on the channel, Brent.
I appreciate that, man. I've been wanting to hop back on for a minute, but
I know that. Yeah, I'm about to say this might be like a easy time frame for you to hop on, since this is like nighttime for you right now. This is your evening.
Yeah, I just got home.
Both of our evening.
30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Tyler there works nights as well.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So you know the struggle.
I like it, but I don't have kids.
I do. Yeah, I enjoy it for a little bit, but I about hitting the 3rd month, I start to hit a wall, and my body starts fighting me. So I'm actually going back to days here in about a month. I'm pretty excited about it myself.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's not made for everybody, that's for sure. Some people hate it.
Yeah, I mean, there are people at work that do it, that have done it for years. But yeah. But yeah, it's yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Get a little extra money on the nights and weekends. So
yep. Oh yeah, Stray Dogs has been good. What
did you pick up this week?
So I got the autumnal. I think they're about to round that out. It's pretty decent. It's kind of sort of a supernatural horror thriller type deal. What's up, Panda? It's been a while, man.
I've heard great things about that, but I have not read it.
It's pretty good, man. I was a little apprehensive about it, but it deals with a different type of horror. Like it's almost like a Jaws type of thing. Where we're 6 issues in and you haven't really seen the main antagonist of it. You hear about her and everything like that, but it's not something that you've seen yet. But I think that's going to be, given what happened in this issue, I think you're going to be seeing her sooner than later. I also picked up The Detective. I really enjoyed that myself. I think with Kubert's art, it really gave me a Dark Knight Returns feel, and just the way Taylor wrote Batman in this one, he just like that hit all the notes as far as Dark Knight Returns for me, at least.
That's what I was saying last night about it. It had that older, bristled Bruce Wayne, and like the oddness of the appearance of the character at the crash site and the oddness of the fight. It didn't matter to me because I'm familiar with Tom Taylor and I expect some kind of off the wall stuff. I mean, he's kind of good at that. That's what kind of draws me to his writing. For sure. I thought it was cool. He kind of plucked The Gentleman Ghost out for this as well, just however quick it was. And the fact that he was like, I got these gloves from a man named John who won them in a poker fight or poker game or something like that. He's talking about Constantine and everything. I thought, how I am about Constantine. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And even though, like my initial thought was, why would he just so happen think to bring his magic gloves that Constantine gave him
Very
But
true.
who cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? That wasn't the point. The point is they're just trying to do some fun stuff.
Yeah,
Maybe
for
he
sure.
always wears them and they just work for ghosts.
That's a
too.
good point. It could
It
just
could
be
be it
something that's
too.
a pre-prep thing.
Yeah, he just always has them.
I also picked up Daredevil. Been a huge fan of Zdarsky's run. It was an issue. I'm kind of ready for, like, I feel like what's been going on in it now has been
What is up tomorrow?
kind of played out. I feel like King in Black kind of put things to a halt, and now they're just now sort of getting progressed. Of course, Mighty Morphin. Always
Yeah, that was a
enjoyable.
great issue.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how what happens at the end plays out. It was kind of a out of nowhere twist. I thought was really cool. Now I'm sure you guys have talked about Mighty Morphin on the channel already, but I do want to go ahead and throw out. I picked up Phantom of the Scam.
Yep, I just read that.
That was an awesome start to a series. I really enjoyed that. Colin
was that
Bunn,
about?
I've gotten a few of his things. I got Harrow County. Deadpool's Secret Wars is really cool as well. But Phantom on the Scan, the artwork I really loved a lot. It also took a number out of We Live's book and had a little QR code for some music that the artist wrote for the book, which is really cool. It was a really cool song.
What was the book about?
So the premise is there was this comet or meteor that like flew through Earth like 20 years ago, and it started to give these people like latent psychic abilities. And this issue dealt with, so the main character, you see him like talking to somebody off panel, and it's like the ghost of this little kid or something like that. But it seems to be part of his psychic abilities, because he can he's talking to his therapist, and the little kid or the ghost kid like comes behind the therapist and like puts his hands in his head, and the therapist starts like naming off random names, and the kid's like, these are his other patients that have these psychic abilities. And so he kind of calls out to them to come meet, because in the beginning of the issue there's another person who has these psychic abilities that he starts hearing all these voices and his head just explodes. And at the end of this issue, he gets these other people that have these abilities, and one of the people's heads explodes again, except this thing comes crawling out of his body, and that's the end of the issue. But after the last panel, they kind of give the description for the next issue, and oh, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's funny. I don't like to brag, but so they mentioned this corporation, and then in the back of it, it sort of has these documents like Watchmen-esque style that
Yeah, my dachshund was crawling up my wife and like nibbling on her face while she was trying to pet him, and it was just entertaining watching them battling for dominance over there.
That's funny. But yeah, it's really cool. It has these documents of like experiments and everything, like top secret stuff and like Project Aftershock or whatever. So I'm pretty I'm definitely gonna be picking that one up a little more. It definitely caught my interest.
I want to see what the other people's psychic abilities are too, because I'm sure they're gonna have different stuff.
Yeah, it did seem that they all kind of had that same like ghost companion child or whatever.
Yeah.
And
Been there.
he did mention too in the beginning how he was like, you're getting worse, or like something like that. Like I can barely remember you. You're getting like you're falling apart, whatever, something like that.
Yep.
So a few things are at play there. Definitely caught my interest. And like I said, I'll be picking it up a little more.
Now, see it in your hand. Go ahead and show the potential cover of the week.
Boom.
That is a sick cover,
It
dude.
really is, man. I like this. I thought it was really funny how.
I haven't read it yet. No spoilers.
Okay, never mind then. You're gonna trip out a little bit. There is a major non-cameo in it.
Is it Dr. Manhattan? But don't answer that. I'm just gonna say like this is a blue cover and it has Manhattan symbol right there on his forehead on the cover.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that we're getting something Manhattanish in here. These covers haven't. They've all been relevant to the story, you know.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into it if you haven't read it, but
Yeah, really knows. We try not to do too many spoilers in general on this show, being that it's kind of early in the week.
Gotcha. So yeah, you'll get a good chuckle out of it. It's got some Easter eggs in it for sure. But I
What
also,
is up, Fallible? Good morning.
hello.
Biggie said there was a cover for Thor that he liked. There was that cover with Donald Blake just chilling on the throne was epic.
Yeah. Also picked up Scout's Honor.
Yeah, Ryan said that was the most comic
haven't read
booky
that.
issue of it yet.
Yeah, it definitely is. I've enjoyed the story. I like David Pepos. You know, I've been a big Spencer and Locke fan. I've actually got some really good stuff done by Jorge Santiago, who drew that book. I've got a sketch cover commission that he did for $20 a few years ago. He's like, just buy the book and I'll draw something on it. I got like a Lethal Weapon movie poster swipe on it. But then I also had him do like a big 11 by 18 Dark Knight Returns homage.
Oh, nice.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm excited to get into the Kirby Care package because, as you can see from the size, there's some 11 by 18s in here.
Nice. Yeah. The last thing I picked up was Spider-Man Shadow, or Spider Shadow, excuse me.
Yes, pumped for that one.
It was cool. Not a huge fan of the art, I will say that. But
Who's doing the art?
Pasquale Ferry.
Not too familiar with that one. Can't place it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that. Well, I expected a lot from Zdarsky just after reading Life Story.
And everything else he does.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, I was not a fan of the art by any stretch of the imagination. But I do like the premise of the story. So yeah.
Now, didn't they put a legitimate "what if" tag on the book?
They updated the logo. They actually have a.
Oh, that's cool. It's like a question mark.
Yeah. They have a kind of a. What am I trying to say here? Like they have a little thing in the back that talks about the history of the What If series and how how it's like kind of come and gone over the years, and how this iteration is going to be. It's not one shots anymore. It's actually going to be like a mini series.
Yeah, they're black labeling.
Yeah. So it was really cool, man. They kind of did. By the end of the issue, they updated the symbiote suit to reflect like what's happening with him and Peter at this point. So that was really cool.
Yeah, Biggie chimed in. This guy Brent probably has to carry a club to beat the women off of him with that hair.
Yeah, it's a struggle, man. What can I say?
He had to turn the notifications off of his phone because of Tinder.
Yeah.
I haven't read that Spider-Man book yet, but I was like wanting to. And obviously it seems like you guys liked it, so I should.
Really good,
I'm picking mine up today. It was my actual pick of the week, but I knew that the Comic Vet is a huge Spidey guy. So when we do the Sunday show for that, I just went with my second pick, you know, just to let him have, because he's a huge Spidey guy, and Spidey's just been flopping left and right. So I wanted him to get a win. So yeah, that's the one that's the one that's my pick of the week.
Yeah.
I read two more that I don't think either of you read, just off what you just mentioned. I read Carmen, and Carmen number 2 was really solid. I think number 1 was better, but my pick of the week this week was Home number 1. That was amazing.
I thought about picking that up myself, but I ended up picking up a couple extra ones that weren't on my list already, and I was like, I'm gonna give the wallet a break, because I've actually spent I spent $150 on my comic shop the other day.
Oh, nice.
I bought a couple of the Jang variants sets that came out. I picked up the
Me
Homelander
too.
last night. Then I spent more money on my comic shop because my LCS didn't. I've been picking up the Power Ranger variants, and they haven't been ordering enough
Let's give it to
to
mommy.
get the one that I have now. So I had to scramble and kind of find that off the bat. So
There's the most
yeah,
recent one.
I heard you talking about the Department of Truth variants. Luckily, mine did not have any kind of color rub or anything on them. I was
The back cover. It was like the
I-
ink. It's on the back cover at the bottom. The ink is just coming off of the books.
Oh, really?
It's just exiting the book.
I'm guessing if I've gotten it, maybe it's not. I to be honest with you, I don't remember looking at the back of them.
Yeah, check out the back, because Greg didn't notice it till he got some of them out, and people
Yeah.
started reaching back out to him. And it's not color rub. That's just the best way to describe it. But the ink is just exiting the book, like it didn't
Interesting.
stick. And so all the people that got books already were sent the books before he knew it, before he heard any feedback. They had to get the books for people to, if people never take them out of the bag and board, you would never notice if yours is or isn't.
Right.
But Greg's a great guy, so he reached out to Image and he's correcting it for people, which I think is a cool concept, because when your covers that you pay your money to go in for and have done with artists and companies don't come out the way they're projected to, it's cool to know that you can reach back out and potentially correct it. You know what I mean, Brent?
Yeah.
Without calling any names or pointing anybody out, because I'm not trying to do that. But
Right.
I want to know what you're talking about.
I'll tell you after we're not live.
Yeah. So on that note, let me grab my pizza real fast, and I'm going to grab those Department of Truth books. I'm going to grab the books first before I grab the pizza, but now that I think about it.
And, grab either one. You're good. We're not going anywhere. So, Biggie Shaq. Let me talk about this for a second, because I'm going to do a video on it. Probably will be what video releases Monday. I also have a second one. I ordered 2 of these, right? This is the special edition Series 8 Kirby Care Package. It's a New Gods one. So I'm not going to get into what's in it, because I'll show you guys, but they show you what all comes in it. Plus, there are some items like where they just tell you, like, you'll get personal items of Jax in this kind of category and this and that, whatever. But those items vary. But
that's awesome.
They have 2 different tiers.
Yeah,
they have 2 different tiers for each care package. They have a special edition and a standard. So I got the New Gods special edition because I think the Fourth World characters and the whole universe surrounding it is the coolest thing Kirby has done for DC Comics, hands down. He created Darkseid, Miracle Man, Bart. Like, he's just, Fourth World stuff is amazing. But right close to that, I love Etrigan. When it comes to the realm of the magic characters in DC, Etrigan is hands down my favorite. Like how Brent gets his rocks off with Constantine, I get my rocks off with Etrigan. You know what I mean? I love Constantine, but still, just Etrigan's cool to me with all the mythos and everything and how it goes back to King Arthur lore and Merlin and all that kind of stuff. But what his grandson Jeremy has done is, Jeremy is in charge of Kirby's estate, and Kirby has a lot of original art. He has a lot of work that is not owned even by the Kirby estate, because when artists work for companies, they do work for the companies. The companies own the stuff that they're putting out, the characters, the stories, the art. Well, Little Kirby was able to talk to DC and everything, and a lot of original Jack Kirby pieces that are owned by DC and haven't been out there, Jeremy was able to make very limited print runs of certain things and get his hands on certain things, and he's making them available to the public and the fans in very small quantities as well. These have very, very limited runs on these care packages themselves. And so it comes with art prints. It comes with personal items of Jack Kirby's. It comes with original art stats. So, like, if Jack were to do it, if he were to draw a big Darkseid, on a piece of paper, he's going to make an art stat out of that, so that now his one-of-a-kind art stat is his template for that character. So you get one-of-a-kind art stats in the special edition ones. So for the For the New God one, I went with the special edition, and for the Demon one, I went for the standard, which it has like the first full page splash of the demon included in it and stuff. Like I'm just so excited.
So the Department of Truth books that I got in do not have the ink coming off of them, and I actually really like the back of these. I haven't seen it on any of these covers yet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it is. It's got like little UFOs and stuff like that all on the back of it.
So what you can do is you can like front face your Virgin and back face your Trade.
Yeah, I really like these, man. I know we've talked about Jang stuff a lot, and I really like what he did with this cover.
Now, Tyler, did you read You Promised Me Darkness?
No, I did not,
heard a
because
couple of people
I
pop up
couldn't
in the
get
chat.
it. I was hoping to be able to get that one, but I couldn't get it. Same with like, there's another one called Locust I wanted to get, and I couldn't get that this week.
Yeah, the Spectacular Spider Grandpa, aka Mike, of Blasting and Stashing Comics every Friday night at 10. He talked about it. Talked about a post-apocalyptic thing where the instead of nuclear holocaust, this or that, it's like locust or something that caused it.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah,
sounds
I
cool.
heard him talking about it.
Yeah, because that's like plague territory. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
which is cool. I mean, there's a lot of plagues to go with, especially if you're going with the biblical list, and it's cool to pick that one.
Big fan of plagues.
Big fan of plagues. Big fan of locusts too. You know, never go hungry again. It
Yep.
reminds me of Brendan Fraser's The Mummy when they got cursed for taking the remains and stuff out of the temple or whatever it was, and all the plagues start happening throughout the movie. And there's that one cool shot where all the locusts are enveloping the town, and the dude sitting there holding the Book of the Dead, just looking up, covered in the locusts.
Yeah.
You know, I love that movie.
I like that movie too. I know it gets some hate, but I like
Does
that
it?
movie. Oh yeah,
don't
The Mummy and The
associate
Mummy
people-
Returns.
Scorpion King is the one that got more hate than anything. Like the first one's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
I wish
yeah.
people
The
could keep
second
movies
one, I
in
know
the
people hate
context
because
of when
of
they
that.
were released. You know, like
Well, I mean,
that movie was like made in like '98 or something.
Yeah.
That was like cutting edge special effects. It was action packed, and Brendan Fraser was on his game back then.
I'm gonna have to disagree with the special effects because you had Spawn a few years before that was like way ahead of its time, and then if
Spawn
you
was horrible.
No, the movie was terrible. But
No, I mean the special effects were horrible.
Oh, I mean for what 93, 94, they were ahead of its time then.
The cape was cool, but like when you look at the scenes of like Malbolgia, he looks like he's straight out of a Super Nintendo cutscene.
Oh no, for sure. I like on modern TVs, yeah, I totally agree with you. But back on like a giant floor, cardboard tube, giant speaker one.
Yeah, the cape
stand,
violator,
like
all of that was insane.
Yeah. But yeah, I was trying to look up what was coming out next week. I cannot remember. I think I don't have a whole lot coming out next week myself. Oh, there you go.
Oh, the trilogy, nice.
Yeah, but no, like in the Scorpion King, when the Rock actually turns into the giant scorpion,
It's horrible.
Oh, and yeah,
terrible.
that's like
That was
known
so
as like
bad.
the worst
That was so
ever.
bad.
The face
just
on
run-
it, the face is
they
like
rushed
facing
it
the
out
wrong
so
way, and
hard.
you can't. His lips don't move right, and
No, it was like it was almost like it was
Claymation.
almost like Henry Cavill's Superman and the Justice League and the Scorpion King are like right there neck and neck for me.
That's a perfect comparison.
Yeah,
At least Henry Cavill's like face right here.
dude. The opening scene for that movie with his cell phone footage.
Yeah, he's like
Like that to me, that set the tone for the rest of the movie. I was like, this is gonna be awful.
not
When
just the CGI for his lip, but I don't know why that scene was even in there. Like it didn't even flow well. The kids were awkward and poorly acted. It just none of it made sense. I wonder if it was trying to create some emotional ties before we see the world without Superman. I don't know what
I don't know
goal
what it
was
was
with
trying
that.
to do.
I don't
That's what
either.
I was thinking. It's like this. We knew right away, right when it started, it was a reshoot because we knew the reshoots had his mustache. So this
Yeah.
was a reshoot. So they went
Mhm.
out of their way to shoot that and then start the movie with it, and then we don't even know why.
Yeah,
This
Like,
is
that
a-
was horrible.
This
My
is a good
theory
point
with
from
that
Biggie Shack
is-
here. Like you mentioned claymation and then that some movies age well. And bringing that up, that's a very valid point because the original 1933 King Kong is claymation, and it's probably the greatest movie ever made.
Claymation is good. Don't hate on claymation.
No, not at all. Ray Harryhausen, dude.
Dude, Celebrity Deathmatch? Come on.
Yes. Let's get it on.
Yeah, fucking Judge Mills Lane.
Yeah. That was the greatest show ever, dude.
It really was, man.
Especially if you were our age when it came out, when it was like, I know I shouldn't be watching this. Like, I'm not told not to because my parents don't even know it exists. But if they did, they would be like, you shouldn't watch that.
Yeah. But no, with the Justice League thing, I feel like they were trying to set up the whole Lois Lane thing, because you know how like, oh, Lois is the key and all that stuff. Like he was actually talking about Lois.
Definitely.
So that was my theory on that. I'm gonna go grab this pizza. I'll be right back.
All right, give me a slice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could take a pizza.
Biggie said DC is going to blow up with The Rock and Cena. Meanwhile, Disney is killing Iron Man, Cap, etc. I was thinking about this earlier this week. How long is it going to be before we get? Because Chris Evans has got to be tired of not working, right?
Well, I heard Robert Downey Jr. wants to come back.
Dude, that's funny. It's such a change of pace from what he was talking about when he first left. And I wonder how much of like, all right, let's just hypothetically, Robert Downey Jr. knows that he's going to reprise his role as Iron Man in some capacity, whether it be flashback movie, you know, because they do movies like Captain Marvel,
where they go back,
Black Widow, any movie with a supporting, with a main female cast lead, they're going to do it in a flashback for some reason. But you can always do Iron Man like that, tell any Iron Man story you want to tell and fill in gaps or whatever. But maybe he knows that in 9 years from now, I'll be frontlining an Iron Man film again. But in the meantime, I have to completely keep all of those rumors and talks away. So I have to publicly talk about not coming back, you know?
Yeah.
But Chris Evans needs to come back already.
Maybe he will. Maybe he will in Winter Soldier.
You know, in the comics, man, he's the one that decided to go back and get his shield from John Walker. He voluntarily gave it up, and the government, like they do with everything, just messes up. And he saw that John Walker was too extreme with the justice, so he went and took it back himself. So maybe he'll show up and reclaim his shield in some capacity. But it's cool to, like, you know, in the comics, other people have taken up the mantle. He's given it up, this, that, and the third. So it's cool to see that happening in the show. But when it comes down to it, Steve Rogers needs his shield back. Because at this point, it's just a major charity tool.
As much as I like to see Chris Evans back, I don't see him doing it.
I do.
I feel like it's a very Hugh Jackman Wolverine situation.
Well, he came back a few times.
A few times.
He might come back again. Who knows?
I am excited for the X-Men introduction into the MCU. Very excited for it. More so today than ever before.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it came out. I forgot about Falcon Winter Soldier coming out today.
Yeah, you missed the first little while of the stream here. We were non-spoiler talking about it.
Cool. I'll be excited to watch that.
Yeah. Invincible was great. Falcon and Winter Soldier was great. I don't even know if it's necessarily fair to try to compare the two. Like every time I watch them back to back, I'm always like, which one did I enjoy more? And that's such a
they are very different.
Yeah, they're not the same genre, same category, same format, anything. Hey, Bumpy.
Yeah, I wish if I had Amazon Prime, I'd be all over that.
You need to get it just for it, man.
Just for it, yeah. Just fake account it and get it.
Wait till it's all the way out or something, and then just binge
that's what I did with The Boys. To be honest with you, I waited for the entire season 2 to be out and then just binged it.
Yeah.
So how cool was that John Jang variant he dropped yesterday?
That was really cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. A different perspective. Again, I know we talked about it, but I really liked it.
He kind of fell back into his
awesome guy.
Kind of fell back into his format with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Oh,
I want to get a
see if I-
print of that Spider-Man that he has.
Oh
It's
yeah,
awesome.
that one. I was like, which one? That one.
and that's the B cover for it. I don't know how to use. There we go. So I get the whole thing up. No, I don't know how to get the whole image up. He had some of these where, like, on your phone, you can like swipe through the photos. I don't know how to do it on here.
That's perfect.
There's the A cover.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
really
here
cool.
it is.
I like how
There it
book
is.
like flowing up.
Yeah, it's like it's anti-gravity kind of deal going down. We're just lifting. It reminds me of Stan Lee's water hose in X-Men 3: The Last Stand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, awesome cover. I'm excited for his next drop as well.
Oh yeah.
You
I
probably
was
know
looking
what's
at his
coming.
stuff.
Dude is pumping nonstop right now. And like I said, Tyler, you got that Ronin 3 coming when it gets here. So it's last Ronin, so it'll probably be. They're on the Jeff Johns schedule, so it'll be a while, but
Yeah,
it'll get to me.
6 more months.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see his other Ronin stuff.
Mm. I like that he's changing it up, like working with different stuff. Like this was issue 3 was like one of the busiest covers I've ever seen, but I'm glad that they did a wraparound for it.
Yeah. I mean, you know how I feel about wraparounds, but I do like the image.
And
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of wraparounds.
I am if you can get them slabbed. I am with certain things, but the bad thing with
That's
these
true.
are their magazine format. So getting them slabbed is a double-edged sword because you're paying more money for a crappier product. Because like Austin was showing, like all the magazine slabs are not like refined like their normal ones, and the label just flops around inside of it and stuff. And so I'm not even gonna worry about getting them slabbed anytime soon. I'm just gonna let them ride.
Yeah.
Again, if I was reselling stuff, that'd be different.
I do want to get my ash can slab though. I got to get that pressed. It's got a couple bends in it, but no color breaks. But
I've got only a few books down that I've read this week. Joker was fantastic. Batman Detective was really fun. Superman was a great read. Like Ryan pointed out last night, Philip Kennedy Johnson really gets this whole father-son dynamic, and it translates well into the story. I've still got Rorschach to read and Batman Urban Legends to read from DC, and I'm picking up all the rest of my books today. I did read Power Rangers 6. If you're a Power Ranger fan, it was fantastic. A lot went down in this issue. A lot, from flashback to the Guardians to big reveals to more big reveals to a really cool flashback reveal. Just a lot. And Biggie, you are correct. They are.
you still got to read Ultra Mega too, man. I've been wanting to talk to you about that for like 9
I
years at
do.
this point.
I still
that
have to
was a
read
fun-
Batman Harley Quinn from last. Joker Harley Quinn from last week even.
Oh man, I was. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I was so pumped for that entire series.
Did you stop reading it?
That is
No, I
good.
finished it.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't what I was expecting. That's about.
Yeah, I read the first
Read it.
2 issues and stopped just because I was like, this is literally not even Joker Harley. Like, I really don't have interest in this.
Dude, that's what I enjoyed about it was the kind of the different spin on it. It was like a whole true crime thing, and I enjoyed the criminal profile aspect of it because it's fun to watch those real life like criminal profile shows. You know, going back on actual major crimes that have happened, and it was cool to take that approach. I like the stuff that's off the beaten path, and having Miko Interiors was just it was an eyegasm for the whole book.
Yeah. I like prefer that, but really, I think just the fact that it was labeled a Joker Harley book turned it off for me.
It definitely turns more into it. I think it. Hey, quit chewing on that, man. I think you start getting a lot of Joker at issue 3 and 4. Like, I mean, a lot. and it's a really cool new take on him as well,
Yeah.
like a
He's more-
backstory built in.
Yeah. More of like a genius level, like more calculated.
Yes.
And it even shows like further on in the series, like he's practiced for a long time, doing this stuff and learning and everything.
Yep. Genius level.
Mm-hmm.
So what do y'all got coming out next week you're looking for?
Oh man, I can't even. I was saying earlier, I was looking through the list. I cannot even remember what I got coming up. I don't think a whole lot next week.
Let's see what I got on the pool.
I would wait for videos like you to make them for me. So then
Definitely Flash. I'm gonna go back and grab Nightwing #1 and read it for Steve. And it's Tom Taylor, so I'm sure I'll like it. Justice League #60 is coming. That's very exciting. I'm more like, I'm not like, oh, this series is amazing, I have to have it. I'm more so just excited to see how it's going to be. You know what I mean? Is it going to be good? Is it not? Let's find out. I don't know what's going on with this Avengers King in Black tie-in or why there is a King in Black tie-in, but
what?
leave it alone, people. Leave it alone.
Wow.
It's over with.
Probably COVID stuff, man. I saw this week there was a Namor.
Dude, no,
tie-in.
it's all Fallout still. They're literally milking it, dude.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like
They're
Joker
the
War.
King in Black's over, talking about it. Yeah, they do a lot. Was over. They did Empire Fallout, just to drag out the trade dress of it for people who are completionists.
Yeah.
Empire. Jeez.
Yeah, worst series ever. Ron V's writing Catwoman, and like Ron V's been nothing but hit after hit. So I might go back and go ahead and grab last issue as well as this one. Don't care about none of that. Alien 2 is coming out. Didn't pick up the first one. Don't regret it yet, but I'm still kind of paying attention to it. Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #1 is going to a second print. Hopefully, it'll be a Gleason second print. I am collecting those. Radiant Black #3 is coming out. The second one was really good.
Yeah, I'll
First
read
one,
that.
not so much.
That's the first one I'll read right there. Oh,
And then,
haha.
look at that cover on Superman Red and Blue. Wasn't blown away with issue 1. I don't really care for Ridley writing Superman. I feel like he fundamentally does not understand the character of Superman, and I really like Superman, so it just doesn't mesh for me. I'm sure it does for some people, but so I'm excited because each one of these are a series of short stories by different writers and artists. So I'm excited to see what this one's going to be about. I wasn't too impressed with the first one. Was more of an introduction to him and a bunch of little stories. So maybe they'll get into some more enjoyable stuff in that one. Power Rangers #6 is coming. Ultra Mega #2 is coming.
No
Yes.
Stray Dogs.
Oh, another Batman title. Thank God. Skip. Batman Fortnite. I'll be skipping.
Oh, it's Fortnite too, not just a Batman title.
What?
Batman Fortnite. Let's go. That's what I live for.
Let's see. My Little Pony Friendship
Little
is Magic.
Pony.
Yeah, that's a must.
Thank God.
Yeah, I've been waiting on that one since I finished the last issue. Edge of my seat. A lot of people are talking about the recount being good. That looks like the Sienkiewicz cover almost.
Kind of does.
Oh, Resonant. Resonant's really good.
This?
Yep.
What's that about?
It's like a dystopian future. Shocking, right? And there's like waves that come, and when the wave comes, it's like in the air. These locusts will alert the people, so they'll like tie themselves to trees, and if they don't, they'll literally like start killing themselves because this wave of something makes people go crazy.
So it's like The Happening, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah, if it was good though.
It was good though. Amazing Spider. I feel like this book comes out every week. Amazing Spider-Man.
It does. It's weekly.
And you notice he's wearing his new suit on the cover of this one, so I wonder if it's kaput now. I'm not keeping up with it.
That was like the dumbest reasoning for giving him a new suit.
What was the reasoning?
So it's like basically Jonah has started working for like this another news organization, and this organization has created Spidey a new suit, but the reason they're doing it is because like the suit broadcasts when he's on patrol. So basically it's an advertisement for this news station, but it's supposed to help increase his spider sense. Everything he does is broadcast to like live to their channel or whatever. And he's all like the first time they had to do some kind of like product placement advertisement. So after he beats up some bad guys, it's like a little firework pops out of his head, and it's like toilet paper. I don't know. It was the dumbest thing ever. I don't know, man. It was so stupid. So yeah, they're really, and the reason.
Oh yeah, I read that too.
The reason Peter decides to go with it is because they're like, you're gonna get paid. It's like, come on, man. So yeah, it was so dumb. I wasn't a huge fan of the suit to begin with. But then like I picked it up just to be like, this is interesting, and like dry heaved a little bit. So
Suffering from that FOMO, didn't want to miss out on the new suit.
Yeah,
it's a thing, man. It's a thing.
Yeah.
After I went to the LCS, like I see all this stuff coming, and then it doesn't dawn on me until like Friday when I go to the LCS. I'm like, oh yeah, I was gonna grab a copy of the new Spidey suit to use as a giveaway or something. Get it at cover price in case it goes up. It's a great giveaway, you know. Get something cheap that turns out to be more valuable. But I don't think to ask ahead of time because it's not till after the fact. I'm like, oh yeah,
you can have mine.
And Ron V does have a new indie coming from Boom Studios, The Death of Lila Star. It looks awesome. It's got the whole, I think it's the Hindu pantheon of gods, and the whole concept is like death. I think it was Shiva. She gets fired, like right off the rip, and it looks really interesting. You know, it's stuff that doesn't get written about too often. So I'm looking forward to possibly checking that one out. I just have such a large pull list as is, so it's hard to. The most difficult part is finding time to read everything because I'm one of those people who try my best to try to stay current with stuff. So this weekend I finally, for the first time in like I've worked like the last 3 weekends in a row, but in the past 18 days I've had one off day, and that off day was spent running around paying bills and everything. So starting today, I get my first off weekend since before the Masters tournament. So I'm going to be doing a lot of catching up reading, trying to get ahead with making some content. So even next week will be a breeze for me. Just all that free time that I normally put into the channel and stuff, I'll be able just to sit back and read and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've been on him for the last month to read Ultra Mega because I picked that up on a whim. I wasn't going to, and I was like, I'll give it a shot. And dude, I was blown away by it.
His ears must have been ringing because there's the spectacular Spider Grandpa. We're just talking about your takeaway from, what was the name of the book, Tyler, with the Locust Holocaust?
The Resonant?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So it looks like we have 66.6% of Blasting and Stashing here in the chat. Again, for the third time, for those that haven't heard, tonight, 10 p.m. on YouTube, Blasting and Stashing Comics. Be there. It's the place to be. John's Comics with Kids, what is up? I've talked about you a few times lately, too. Your review of Nightwing, Tom Taylor's first issue on Nightwing, between Steve asking me constantly to read it and your takeaway from it. I'm going to be picking that up today so that I don't fall behind. Adding that one to the pool. I love Tom Taylor. Nightwing's a great character, and yeah, good stuff. They're not going to be on that. Please, oh, but I'm sorry. Yeah,
you should. Haha's amazing.
hasn't grabbed me like I was hoping it would, to be honest with you.
Do you read Ice Cream Man? I'm assuming.
Maybe the thing we do as a family now, I pull books the wife might like. My daughter looks at pictures from Aquaman books. My son is an infant, so he just eats his fist. Not bad. That's a good dynamic. Someone's got to eat the fist.
Yeah, I definitely like Ice Cream Man more, but I'm really enjoying Haha. I thought this last one, no, issue 2 was probably my favorite one. Issue 3 was really good though.
Tyler, have you heard anything
I will
about
say
Ice
the
Cream
manga
Man
are pretty
wrapping up?
You guys both talked at the same time.
Have you heard anything about Ice Cream Man wrapping up?
No, the last I heard was that Martin Morazzo, the artist, a bunch of people were messaging him on Twitter, and he said, "Hey, this is me doing the issue cover for number 26.
Nice.
It's not ending." So, what were you saying, Brent?
Oh, I did enjoy the mime issue. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that was number 3. I thought that was really cool. I love silent issues like that.
Mm-hmm. That was really cool and also very tragic. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I want to jump, kind of talk about this for a second as well. So, Crossover has been well written. It's been a good book. Unfortunately for me, I've said this before, that I'm not like a Donny Cates Image Comics historian. So most of the book is missed on me. So for me, it's just kind of a straightforward, cut and dry story of a girl looking to go get her parents back. And this coming issue, I found out, was Donny Cates' last issue on it. It's not like he's going to be writing this story all the way through. Yeah, that's what somebody told me, that it's
awesome.
Maybe
I'll keep reading it.
And the 616 has a cover swipe of issue 3. You know, the one with Ellie reading and Spawn over her shoulder. It's a issue of Ellie looking over Donny Cates' shoulder, but he doesn't look like Donny Cates to me. He looks like Keanu Reeves. But if you look at Donny Cates' profile pictures, he's clean shaven. He's got short, tight hair, and it's like white blonde. Well, the cover looks like Keanu Reeves in rehab. Like but
maybe it is.
It might be, but apparently it's the cover's done by his wife, Megan Hutchinson, and apparently it's him. And what I was told, I don't remember what day I was told, but that it's going to be switching writers. And I think they said, God, I can't remember who's writing it. I want to say it's Zdarsky that's going to be picking it up.
I think it is. Yeah, it sounds familiar.
And if that's the case, I'm wondering if this was so plug heavy with his projects and his properties, maybe when the next writer takes it over, they'll be plugging it heavy with theirs, and then we'll get into this kind of format for what this ongoing series is going to look like, where someone gets to jump on and just go fan service crazy, which is awesome, because that means there's going to be issues that are very specifically for me that I get to go nuts over and just catch all the references and have a blast. And then there's going to be some that I'm going to have to tone back my expectations and just enjoy the story read and getting introduced to stuff. And like, because of the first 6 issues, I'm very, very interested and looking forward to reading God Country, which I'm definitely going to go back and read now, because I've heard nothing but great stuff about it, like plenty of times before. But after reading this now, I'm just kind of pushed me over the edge that I'm going to find the time to go do it and go order the LCS and stuff. But so now looking at that potential format, I'm even more excited about Crossover than I was when it first started. You know, I see more potential in it again finally, instead of just a Donny Cates book club.
Yeah, I definitely think that we're going to start seeing that it's not like crossover just in like as far as the characters go. I don't think that me personally, with Image being like a creator owned publishing company, I think Donny Cates will be back, but I think that he's going to sprinkle in these artists to kind of encompass that crossover name. It's not just in character or publisher, whatever. It's going to be like crossover with other writers and maybe other artists and stuff like that. So it's like the crossover name is like bigger than whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was Red Bear and 4 Cheese.
No, he's talking to Joey. He's on vacation at Joe's house, so they're probably in separate
my
rooms.
bad.
It's good to know that they're in separate rooms when they're vacationing together and not sharing a bed.
Is it though?
Yeah, I don't know, but what I'm kind of projecting for crossover, there's so many plot threads that Donny Cates introduced, and unlike Falcon and Winter Soldier, second to last episode, they're not tying anything up. And one of those plot threads, which might just go on through the whole series, is comic book writers and artists, real world names are getting killed. There's a serial killer going around killing them. What I think is Donny Cates himself is going to die in this next issue, thus ending his
That'd
run
be
on
cool.
it. Donny
Well,
inside the book. And what if he's like some kind of like a catalyst for a lot of this happening? And the All Sword itself, Halifax, is going to take the swinging blow on him to stop the calamity that's happening.
Well, that being said, I know that you and I had talked before about how, like, I think that Donny Cates is actually narrating his own story.
Yes.
But then also, with that in mind, it did mention that, you know, in the beginning issues, how all these writers and artists were disappearing. I want to say Zdarsky was in that group of writers.
Disappeared artists. Yeah.
I think he was one of them.
Mhm.
So it'll be very interesting. Maybe that's like another meta thing. Maybe Donnie will like die in this issue, and
Donnie will die and Chip will
pick
get
it up.
found. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't see Kate's like detaching himself from this series permanently.
Well, it's making
but-
me wonder how much, like how you said, like pointed out, Image is all creator owned stuff. I wonder how much this crossover thing isn't necessarily referring to the events of the book, because it's a very meta book, and how much it's
for sure
a crossover between actual creators and artists at Image Comics. This is a joint effort, and this is not Donnie's property. You know what I mean?
I mean, it could be an alpha and omega thing for him as well. Like, he started it off, he's going to let people play with it for a little while, and then he's going to, you know, he has an ending in mind.
Yeah.
So he's going to come back full circle, and, you know.
But does he? Because it's announced as an ongoing title, right?
I don't know.
I believe it's
sure. I don't see it going like as long as a Walking Dead or a Spawn or even a Redneck or anything like that. I feel like it's definitely a finite story, because I know too, like when you submit stuff to Image, like you have to give them like, this is the story I have in mind beginning to end.
That's why I was wondering if it's not necessarily something that Donnie submitted. Like, I wonder how much this is the classical format of someone
Let's see
pitching
where
and
it
creating
goes.
with Image. You know what I mean? I wonder how much
Yeah.
this is actually just like something that the wigs at Image, along with different people that have worked for them as well, like kind of just all brainstorm together to do something different that Image hasn't done before. Not story-wise, but just creating a comic under their publication-wise. You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
It'll be cool to find out.
Oh, definitely.
I hope we get some references that are like tied to the story though, because I feel like all the references we've gotten are reference for reference sake. Like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
And then we move on, and
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I do remember seeing a lot of people saying that issue 6 is a big one.
Yeah, he said that about issue 3 too.
Yeah.
And issue every one of them.
Yeah. Like I've heard some major cameos are coming in this one myself, but that remains to be seen. So
Like, it would be so cool if we got Spawn, like we got all these covers, but it would be even cooler if we got Spawn and he has to do something that has to do with him and like ties to the story. He has to go to hell and do something, and like I want to see where they actually tie in. Like, oh hey, I'm Spawn, and he goes and like gives you a hammer. Like, it has nothing to do with Spawn.
right. Well,
Like, that's basically what we've gotten out of these characters. Nothing.
I will say that I heard something about Kate starting to write Spawn as well.
Yeah, we're going to be working with McFarlane on Spawn's universe. There's a list of about 20 writers and artists that are all big name that are stepping in, because they're going to do like in the fashion of DC Comics, going to do a one-shot, an oversized one-shot, kind of introducing where all these characters are into the world. And there's going to be 4 ongoing Spawn titles that start with number 1's. Gunslinger will have one, Medieval will have one. There'll be a Spawn's Core, which is like their version of Justice League, where you have 4 different Spawn characters as well as the Redeemer, who's going to be your counterweight to the team, and then the
Nice.
regular Spawn book. And Kate's will be one of the what capacity or how long, who knows, but he's just I don't know, flash to get it up and running. But
Yeah.
McFarlane promised will be the year of Spawn, so we'll see. I'm on board with it.
Be
I'm going to be
interesting.
getting at least medieval Spawn. I think he's the coolest. I've just always liked him. He's just awesome.
I remember having that toy as a kid. That was like the coolest one.
Yeah, it was that shield with the actual logo on it and everything. And,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I guess growing up in an era with Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, with the cool spikes on the shoulder and stuff, and medieval Spawn had him as well, and the helmet was cool. But swords and shields are awesome, and it was really cool in a book I read this week that I already forgot which one it was, but they talk about how it was the Green Lantern Black Star prelude to season 2. They were talking about how everything's so bad on Earth, how Wonder Woman's put down her lasso and her gauntlets for her sword and shield, and kind of just the sword and shields are always cool.
For sure.
But him and Angela share a first appearance with number 9, and I'm stacking those issues up, not intentionally at this point. I just bought a collection off somebody while I was working, and that was in it. Another copy of that.
Can you explain how she's going to be, if she's in Image Comics, how is she going to be in Marvel stuff?
I don't know.
So
Marvel bought her a long time ago, I thought.
A couple of years ago, Marvel actually bought the rights to Angela.
Yeah.
And sort of injected her into the Thor mythology, how she was kind of given up as she's supposed to be Thor's sister, and she was given up to the 10th realm, and that's, I'm guessing, has something to do with the Spawn universe. I'm not too well versed on that myself, but because it was around the time Original Sin was coming out for Marvel, and they had a Thor and Loki spinoff miniseries within the Original Sin story. And because part of Thor's role or story in Original Sin was that, like, the Watcher's Eye basically showed the truth to everybody, where that's where, like, Spider-Man saw that someone else had been bit by the spider. Like, Deadpool realized he killed his parents, and then Thor saw that he actually had a sister and confronted Odin about it, and it ended up being Angela. So she is technically a Marvel property. I don't know if she's going to be in this universe stuff.
She's still owned by Marvel up till today.
Yeah. So I as far as I know, I mean, that was also 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't seen him really do too much with her. But it says in the Age of Ultron storyline, there was a time continuum shattering event, and she happened to slip through, and they introduced her as Thor's long lost sister. Just, it's kind of dumb. I don't know why they would sell her off.
Yeah, I don't. It's funny that they McFarlane sold her too. Like how he always says he'll never sell his characters. Like, what made him sell her specifically? It's really random.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, Marvel or Disney or whoever at that point just like flashed him a big paycheck, and he was like, okay.
Yeah, since she's a lesser character, yeah, maybe that was what it was.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to buy this character, you idiots? Sure, I'll take your money.
And he's probably laughing at them at this point because
they've done nothing
outside of that Thor thing that I remember.
Yeah,
I think she's supposed to, like, she headed up like a Valkyrie miniseries not too long after that, and I mean, if anybody remembers that, then kudos to you. So that's about how well that went.
It looks like there's a lot of legal disputes between Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman over Angela, who Neil Gaiman came in, because McFarlane had other people working with him on Spawn, like early on and stuff, So it looks like Neil Gaiman stepped in at issue 9. So it might be Todd just wiping his hands and settling a legal dispute without me reading this whole thing.
Right.
Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman have finally made peace after nearly a decades-long lawsuit over Spawn comic book series, and a settlement agreement brought before the Wisconsin federal judge on Friday. And Gaiman confirmed as a copyright co-owner of 2 issues of Spawn series and 3 issues of the Angela series in dispute. So it's not so that probably explains it all.
Yeah.
Dude, you speed reading that right now makes me think of those like medical commercials that explains all like the really bad symptoms at the end of it
Yeah.
super fast.
I get that a lot on my comments on my Saturday videos with
Yeah.
when I start going through those kind of, or at the end of the videos. I'm like, yeah, talk about what's coming up on the channel.
Right.
Symptoms may include death.
It's like they're worse than what you already have. You have to take medicine to get rid of the side effects. Excuse me. Yeah, man, I'm super stoked for you to get on that Ultra Mega. I know every time we talk,
Yeah, I'll make it happen this weekend. I finally have time to do it.
it's I was not expecting that.
I just
So
seen
you
that
read it all?
Pocan Joe had a new video drop just now about his evil lair. Real quick, Pocan Joe on his channel not only reviews comics, but he goes down into his evil lair and creates really wicked stuff like Wolverine claws that can actually spark and stuff. And
Very
he's
cool.
working on what's called a poof box. He's, as he puts it, dipping in the realm of the dark arts and doing some magic. And he's making it pretty much for Finn so that Finn gets a cool little poof box.
Nice.
And he did a live video of how he was constructing it and putting some Doctor Strange and Doctor Fate elements into it and everything. And I can't wait. I'm going to definitely film and post Finn's mind being blown.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I
was
watched him
his
work on it
response.
for like an hour the other day. He was
Yeah.
just talking about a bunch of nothing. We were just literally chatting in chat, and he was talking. It was fun.
Spawn Venom collab is what I want. What I really want to see with Venom, what I honestly can't wait and hope to God they do like as soon as possible is nothing.
Yeah, with Venom.
Please do nothing
Yeah.
at all. Good God.
Well, you
That
know
is
when the movie drops, they're gonna be
overhyped
doing something.
BS character out there right now. And I love Venom.
Let's get a
I was
Noel cross. A Noel
born in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? Venom was like,
Yeah.
and Carnage, that was huge in my childhood, but this is overhype. And I feel like it's just a lot of it comes from, there's a lot of people getting into comics these days because of the popularity of the MCU and the secondary market being a place for people to hang out, have fun, make some extra money. And Venom is just this overhyped marketing train because that's just what was happening when a lot of people came in, and it's just quality is down here and oversaturation is, that's the most oversaturated thing in comic books right now, even more so than Batman. There's more
Yeah.
Bat titles than Venom titles, but he's somehow not as saturating as Venom. What
That's
is
very
up,
true.
Alex? We got nothing but worms around here, buddy. All the worms. I would like to see a Spawn and Demon crossover. Spawn all annoyed with the rhyming and Demon annoyed with the brooding Spawn. Demon can, that's a good debate. Who can brood harder, Etrigan or Al Simmons? Etrigan just over there busting rhymes, and Al Simmons just in the corner crying green fluid, talking about Wanda this, Wanda that.
Yeah.
A brooding battle.
Wanda.
Whatever happened with the static stuff? Did Will Smith just fake us out because now it's Tanto hype? I guess you're talking about a static movie property or whatever. The return of Milestone during DC's fandom event about 3 weeks ago. If you have DCU Infinite app, they digital first the Milestone stuff, and it is they did like an Infinite Frontier issue 0 for it, and I read it. It wasn't bad. The artwork and some of it was definitely digital first quality. But they're about to be breaking off into their own series. Floppies come out, I think, later this month. We start getting that floppy, that digital first one. But we'll see how it goes. I'm most excited about the Icon and Rocket stuff. That's such a weird dynamic. He's like a Martian Manhunter, Superman thing. But traditionally, this conservative black superhero and how that translated into that book and that dynamic of back and forth is going to be interesting if they kind of keep with that route, because I feel like when you dive into political stuff right now, it's so opposite of each other. It'll be interesting to see how those mix. Would you say he's oversaturated? Absolutely. Like Deadpool a couple years ago, exactly. Like talk about like when you beat something to death, you really that's how people lose interest in stuff. Like Deadpool would still be hype right now if people would know how to release stuff in moderation. No, Batman is the most oversaturated, gratuitous panel cameos. Come on, now I gotta agree with that. That's a great point,
Yeah.
dude. They tried to ruin Swamp Thing issue 2 by putting an unnecessary Batman panel in there, and I say unnecessary just because it was for that. Hoping that God he does not appear in any more of the Swamp Thing book. I do not want to see a Swamp Thing crossover book. Just keep it Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I've surprised. Like, I really enjoyed the first couple issues of Swamp Thing. I think it's a really cool concept of. It's almost like got an Immortal Hulk feel to it as well. You know.
Oh yeah, the horror aspect of it.
Yeah, horror aspect. Like he turns into him at night and everything.
That's funny you say that because sitting one on top of the other.
Nice. Yeah,
And I wonder if he is limited to turning into him at night. I know like that's what kind of seems like what's happening because it's like kind of attached to his sleep or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it's just a kind of a, when you're asleep, your kind of consciousness is down a little bit,
Like an
I
astral
wonder,
projection type of thing.
yeah, I wonder if the green is just able to seep in harder. I'm just really excited to get into all of that, really. The way that they're introducing it, and this Levi character is pretty cool. We don't really know what's linked him up with the green to begin with.
Yeah. I feel like too that it may be just part of the process of him becoming the Avatar.
Yeah.
Because and I'm not going to say that I'm too familiar with the other avatars other than Alec Holland myself, but that was kind of I don't know. I don't feel like it was a traditional like passing of the torch as far as Alec Holland goes. In the lore of the green and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We both went.
You could have just said you didn't disagree. But yeah,
He's mad at you.
Yeah. But I think to answer, I think you were asking me earlier if I had read Ultra Mega. Yes. Yeah, it was amazing. I was not. What's up, Ryan?
Boom, the man is in the building.
So, Brian.
What's
I
up?
went to hop over to my because I just got a message from Greg, and it's a Sick Department of Truth cover, but I hit the wrong tab, so it dipped me right out.
We were excited.
Yeah, I figured y'all got this covered.
We're about to talk some Ultra Mega, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Ultra Mega was so gross.
Dude,
it was gross.
Like it's not gonna hurt.
I wasn't expecting to read it and think, "Oh my god, this is crazy."
Yeah, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. Sorry.
It really surprised me, like in so many different ways. I thought it was just gonna be like another standard, fun comic book. No, nothing standard about that book.
No, it to me it pulled like a Southern Bastards. Like this is what it's gonna be about, and then all of a sudden, no, this is not gonna be that kind of comic. Yeah, Southern Bastards killed the protagonist 4 issues in, and you're like, what? Or what? I guess who you thought the protagonist was. But yeah, then Ultra Mega pulled that swerve, and I was like, what? So.
Yeah, I think I said what like 10 times.
Yeah,
in the book.
I had like no expectations because literally the only thing I knew was like the cover of the book and the fact that you and Lee had mentioned it that one time.
Yeah,
and so like that's what I read it on was just those two things, and it just it blew me away. I knew like literally nothing.
Yeah, and that was before we even read it. I was like, oh yeah, I need to read that. It looks good. And then I read it. I said, wow, that is not what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I asked I saw one of the guys, the workers in my LCS reading it, and he was like, I don't know, man. It seems really hard to follow, and I almost didn't grab it, but against his better judgment, I was like, I'm gonna pick it up.
Oh, he's mad too.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of like the most recent issue of Suicide Squad. And like that it's like all this chaos and craziness going on, and you're never really truly sure what's going on anywhere, but you kind of like see all the actions and motions, you know, and then kind of at the end it like all comes together and makes sense suddenly, you know.
I just wanted to leave because everyone else left. I haven't read the most recent issue of Suicide Squad, but I just read issue 1 because of you and Mark. And it was amazing.
That's
so
a great
I'm
series.
really excited to read number 2.
Did y'all see this cover?
Yeah, I see it. It's
pretty
terrifying.
awesome.
I see it. I had not seen it though.
Yeah,
Is that Mephisto?
Yes, it's Mephisto on the cover, Department of Truth. But it's really cool. It's the Starface.
WandaVision tie-in.
And you see the little thing on his stomach? It's like the medical symbol with the snakes intertwining and everything.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's got that on his stomach. It has the woman with the red X's on her eyes kneeling before him. Got the goat legs.
Mhm.
That's a wicked cover.
Heck yeah.
I've really
They have some
enjoyed that
really cool
story.
covers for that book.
They do. I
Yeah.
want
The
Jang to
series
get
has been good,
another
too.
one. Like after reading the issue that for the cover Jang did, like it just makes it fit so well. Like the cover was perfect for it.
Yeah. Oh.
The bed. There's that bed.
It is comfy, I will say that.
Brent, do they sell ENIAC books or Bad Idea books at your LCS?
I think the number 1 came out.
Well, if they sell
but-
one, there's not a.
What's
They
that?
don't get a pick. And if they picked up number 1, they got them all. That's part of the contract to have them. You have to buy all the books.
Then I don't remember. I don't remember seeing number 2 on the shelf when it came out. I want to say maybe I did see it at Soundwave, but I don't remember seeing it at Captain's.
I don't know if people are able to put that on their subscribe list or not. I don't know the details of that, but I know part of it is like you have to have like a storefront display with the books on it.
Yeah.
And like if you order 100 copies of issue 1, you have to order 100 copies of every single issue. You don't get to down order as you go. I know a lot of places griping, crying, and complaining, and not a lot of places. There's just some complaining about it, but coming from somebody who's trying to read ENIAC who doesn't have an LCS within 2 hours of me, they're selling out. Absolutely selling out. I think with there was a limited run on them, so they were allocated just like the last Ronin issue number 1 was. But so it's not oversaturated. And I really want to get my hands on tankers. I mentioned it last night, but you have people in exo squad suits fighting dinosaurs. And I said it last night. I'll say it again, dude. That's for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is up, K Titus from the land of the rising sun? How are you this morning, brother? Doing good.
Yeah, I need to go pick up my tankers. I know I have that pre-ordered. And I actually, because you can only order 1 issue. So it's like, if I want 3 issues of tankers, I would need to get me and 2 buddies to pre-order it.
And what's weird is I was able to find ENIAC number 1 from Golden Apple Comics, which is like a partner store with Frankie's Comics on a lot of their exclusives. I was able to order ENIAC number 2, the first print, for cover price before it released. And I know part of the agreement is you can't online sell these books, but they online sold me an ENIAC's number 2. Same thing for number 3. I went in 2-3 days ago to go ahead and order number 4 and look for a not first print of tankers. And the only thing they have listed for tankers was numbers 1, 2, and 3 is a set, and it was all sold out. Like they pre-sold out 1, 2, and 3, and it was only listed as a set, which I thought was insane. Maybe it's only a 3-issue series. I don't know. But ENIAC number 4 was all sold out, and ENIAC number 3 is not out yet. So I know some shops will list a book on their website just to get it up there, and it'll be listed as sold out until it becomes available. Then they'll change it. But it's weird if they're trying to sell stuff out that far in advance. I don't know.
Probably trying to get those guaranteed sales on it, man.
Yeah, again, but they're breaking,
especially if they're locked into it.
Yeah, like okay, there's a chance this book could tank in the previous 2 issues and nobody wants it. Let's go ahead and pre-sell this stuff and get the guaranteed money while it's hot type of deal, you know?
Yeah.
Have they actually explained how their business model is working? Like, have they actually explained why they went with like not first print and all that?
I think you explained it to me as they're not doing print runs after the first print. There's a print run for the first print that got over ordered and allocated, and then for everything after that, wasn't it you that mentioned like as people order them, they'll print them and send them out, so there's not an actual second, third, fourth print. It's just print on demand kind of.
Yeah. See, that's my suspicion. I don't know. I haven't heard like that much detail on what they're doing.
That is what they're doing.
I chiseled that as soon as you said it. I've been telling everybody.
I don't know how they're doing. I haven't heard that if they're doing.
I think that's what they're doing is they're going to take initial orders and they're going to print that many books to get their book in the system, and then they're probably using like a print on demand company because we're seeing that become very popular with like Gumroad and some of these Kickstarters and stuff. They can run these print on demand deals, so anytime somebody goes to their website and orders the book, well, that just automatically moves over to the printing company, and they'll print a copy and mail it to you directly, you know, and they get a percentage of the cut off that. I think that would be really interesting moving forward because it means we'll like never run out of books, you know, like. So how's that going to affect the trade market? Because that's kind of the benefit of the trade. One of the benefits of the trade market.
They're not doing trades.
Yeah, they're not doing trades.
I mean, like
digital.
for the industry as a whole, you know.
Are you talking about
I doubt Marvel, DC, or Image, but some of these smaller places like Source Point Press could move to print on demand.
I know that the big companies can't even touch that format because you know they have too many titles and only so many presses and so many times. So they're on a schedule moving.
Yeah.
Their printers and presses never stop. They can't interrupt that flow. To okay, we need 150 more of this issue, or we need 500 printed of this that came out 3 months ago that people are still picking up issue 1 of. But the smaller, that's not a bad idea.
Like Source Point Press and Aftershock could do well to like pay attention to that and see if there's something in there for them.
But I do like I want Aftershock to not touch that because they're doing things like third, fourth, and now fifth printings for certain books that I'm really excited about. And they're changing up the cover game when they do it, and it's making me excited about picking up those covers for We Live.
We Live number 4.
Yeah. That,
is it 4 or number 5?
That was number 5, fifth print.
Oh, number 5's being,
or second printed, or whatever print it is, where they took the cover and they green slated it.
I like Aftershock. They're doing good things.
I feel like it'll keep overhead low for them and everything like that, and they can keep operating at a more manageable cost or predictable cost, however you want to say it.
Which is great for them because it keeps them with gives them a better chance of bringing more creators in. You know, if they're not wasting money over here, they can hand it to the creators to give them more content. You know,
they're the
you just throw
comics.
Yeah, you throw everything. You never know when something's going to stick and really put you on the map. You know, like you say, keeping that overhead low.
For sure.
I wish more shops got it. Maybe after like a month, they should just allow anyone to order the not first print from anywhere.
Yeah, like I said, I don't remember seeing at least ENIAC at the shop that I go to every Wednesday, but they kind of operate on a different wavelength than most comic books. I think that maybe they saw it as like a bigger risk than they were willing to take, especially with you having to commit to a certain, like the same amount of issues per numbered issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, when you buy the first issue, you have to buy all 4.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think he saw they might have seen that, was like, I'm not gonna jump on that.
I meant as a customer. Like when I pre-ordered ENIAC like 2 months before it had come out, and when I went to get it,
gotcha.
I had to buy all 4 issues. So I paid $16 for issue number 1.
Oh, nice.
And then when issue 2 comes out, I get it for free. Basically, I just walk in, they'll just hand it to me. Yeah.
Very
That's pretty cool. I know you sold your issue 1 first print.
Yeah, I
Are you
did.
planning on keeping the rest of the series, or if
Yeah, I already went and bought the not first print of number 1. So
Nice.
so yeah. I didn't want to sell that one. That was really just like, oh, let's do it. That sounds fun.
just on a whim?
Yeah, it was literally on a whim. I was like a little drunk.
cool.
Why not?
Mom's coming over? Man, Sonic sounds good. Been up for hours at this point. Been up for like 5 hours. It's always breakfast time at Sonic. It's always lunchtime there too, I think.
I was actually
Time is
talking
relative.
about the taquitos they used to have last night.
Nice. Didn't you used to work at a Sonic in your teenage years, Brent?
I did. Yeah. That was a time for sure. Lots of jacked up trucks and annoying teenagers.
Are we gonna
Tell her-
kick Brian off the stream like they kicked him off
Like
last
Steve
night?
did.
Yeah.
He's muted. Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know if Ryan can hear us.
I think he has
No.
us muted.
Yeah, he does. He must.
I want cheddar peppers, Kyle.
Mark wants cheddar peppers
Tell her to get a lot of ranch
and a lot of ranch.
because they never put any in there. Savages.
And you want breakfast?
Ryan's thinking hard.
Yeah, Ryan's definitely not here.
He's probably wondering
He-
why we're not talking.
He maybe he
Yeah, he's
clicked
on the
off. He
phone.
doesn't even know his camera's on. That would be.
No, he's
funny.
on the phone. Brent, do you have your headphones in?
No, I do not.
Oh.
You want me to jump out and jump back in real quick?
No.
Why do you need your headphones on?
No, I was asking because it's got a little bit of a clicking from like the movie Signs. I think it's just a
Yeah.
connection thing.
It does it every once in a while, unfortunately. I think my Wi-Fi is stretched a little, stretched a little thin, and I'm a little bit further away from the modem. I think. Nothing I can do about that, unfortunately.
No.
The setup I have here is a little different. So
Who's here? For what?
Put a lot of yard equipment.
Oh, Tony
Ryan,
must be
Ryan,
coming
you're
on.
back.
Ryan, are you back? We literally halted the show.
Yeah,
We
just
weren't
looking. I just commented on how we should kick you out. Like you got kicked out last night.
Oh yeah, right.
That was
Just
so.
kick me to the curb.
Hey, if you need to go, you can just go.
Did you catch right after you left? Were you watching or listening to the stream when you left?
No.
Steve felt so bad. He thought like you were legit upset. He's like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
dude, Ryan, I'm so sorry."
I didn't know why he kept saying that to you. I was like, "What are you doing, Steve?"
oh yeah. He messaged me, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm cool." Like, I'm just having fun with it, man.
yeah,
Hey,
No, but I was having trouble with my car, so I had to take it to the dealership, right? And so they're like, "Oh yeah, it's like this big horrible problem that none of us have ever even heard of before, but clearly it's your fault. So we're gonna charge you $1,400 to fix it." So my car's been in the shop for 2 days for a 1-day repair, and then he just called me and he's like, "Yeah, we got everything changed out, but it computer, so it resets your odometer. So there's supposed to be like a label that goes in there that didn't get shipped with the part. So now we have to wait for this label to get shipped also." And I'm like, "What? I don't understand. Like that's again not my problem."
they made sure to make it your
Not-
problem.
Yeah, it's not something that I caused. Like, why do y'all keep messing up? I hate car dealerships. I hate them.
yeah.
You need an old shade tree mechanic who will reset your odometer and not make you get a sticker.
Right. Oh my god.
I didn't even realize, but it's
apparently my
already
car's in the
9:30.
shop a whole nother day now.
Get your
Biggie said
step-
Power
get your
Rangers.
steps in.
Do what?
You can get your steps in. You can walk wherever you need to go.
Oh yeah.
Are you talking about this week's Mighty Morphin issue, Biggie? Because
Yeah, I really liked it.
I did too. So much happened in it.
Yeah.
I didn't think Biggie was into Power Rangers anyway.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Mm-mm.
I think that's what he means. It's just tough to read Rangers in general.
I can see that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Maybe they
I-
just use too big of words.
Maybe.
Well, no one's wearing underwear spandex fighting for belt ownership. So
Right?
I love wrestling. I just haven't watched it or cared in years. Wrestling was life when me and Brent were growing up. Like I
Oh, yeah.
remember, like they had all the figures, and they started doing the Titantron figures back in the day, where the figures got detailed and articulated, and they would have like wrestling entrances and hardcore match setups, and they'd have these two metal strips on it and metal prongs on the bottom of their. Put the figure on it, and it would play their intro music and this and that, and yeah, we were all over that stuff, man.
It's the latest technology.
Wrestling was
stuff,
life in like 6th grade.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's like the last time I ever watched or cared.
Yeah, it's
Wrestling for
Good
me
times.
is sort of like religion or like conspiracy theories. Like the culture around it is more interesting than the actual thing itself, you know?
for
Like
sure.
wrestling fans, I think it's so cool the way that they are like so into wrestling, and like I listen to podcasts where they do like kayfabe corner and stuff, and they do their own bookings, and it's like this is one of the coolest fandoms, but I have no interest in the thing that you have to be a fan of in the first place.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a really first time I've heard that comparison, but it all makes a lot of sense, like comparing wrestling to religion, because it's
For
kind of like
sure.
if you look too long at either one of them, you find grown-ups in their underwear.
I feel like we're
It's still
talking
real to me,
about
damn it.
comic book people too, though. Look
Oh,
at
yeah.
us sitting here talking about comic books. People going to Comic Cons and dressing up, and
Yeah. But speaking of going places,
30
it's
plus
already
years.
been on here for over 2 hours, which is longer than the house has just been smooth this morning, though. You know, normally I just go until life deems it's over with, but life didn't step in today. But I'm about to step in because I want to go. Yeah, Bonesaw is ready. What is up, freaky boy?
Bonesaw.
Yes. When the two converge, that
Yeah.
was amazing. But I am about to go ahead and go get dressed. And today we're going to be going and hitting up a couple of little kind of educational preschool programs that run for a couple hours a day for a week to because Finn's itching to get in school, and let him hit one at the beginning and the end of summertime. And then I want to go to my LCS and pick up the rest of my books. I mean, this is my first real off day in forever, so I'm about to look up and yeah, I'm about to get to it. Be sure to check out tomorrow. I'll have my new comic book day video drop Sunday. Check out the Comic Vets channel, because every Sunday at some undetermined point in the day, the Comic Vet will drop the top picks video that him and I collaborate on. And then Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, every Sunday night at Week's End, the spoiler-filled look back at this week of comics and so much more. Be sure to check that out, because that is where fandom happens right there. We have a blast. And anybody got anything they want to plug for their channels? Now's the time.
This afternoon, pre-week's
Oh, yeah.
end, 3:30 Central, 4:30 Eastern.
3:30 fairy tale time. Everybody be there. Set your notifications. The
I hope
video
I'm
is
awake. If I'm awake,
yeah.
I'll be there.
The video is up. Y'all can go ahead and hop over there to New Guy's channel and hit that notification bell. Tyler,
Yeah.
pluggages.
Yeah, make sure you go check out Ryan New Guy at 3:30 today.
And that's 4:30.
Yeah, that's what I said.
To live in the real world.
Go check out the Whack Comics subscription video.
Dude, they're just a hillbilly hair away from Mark.
From 600?
Isn't that right? 600?
Yep. We're really close. We've been really close for a while, though. We haven't really been moving. It seems like a lot of people have.
And y'all started that channel
lately.
like what, last week?
No, it's been there for what, since like September 2009, I think.
You guys and Mark, man, y'all are making the rest of the community look bad.
Mark's growing faster than anybody. Mark flew past everybody. But we
And
don't
Two
buy our
Brothers,
subscribers.
They took off
so.
like a rocket.
I haven't bought mine either. I just kind of looked at the format out there, and I do something like I've been a salesman for a lot of my life. Brent will get that more than anybody, and I'm just really good at seeing trends, and I'm really good at seeing patterns. Look at Brent laughing. I've sold all kinds of things, but it's really easy for me to sell myself. You know what I mean? And not like in the prostitution sense of the word, but if you're not your own
Family
best
friendly.
cheerleader, you can't expect anyone else to be. And I try to be present. I enjoy it, dude. So I'm very everywhere, and I'll tell you in just a minute what I do a little bit differently than everybody else. That seems to be the trick.
Yeah, that's why on White Comics I started taking off more pieces of clothing. Like I just did one with no pants on.
Dude, the other
What?
day when you opened your
Yeah.
shirt, like that's what got me there.
Yeah. I opened
On
my shirt
multiple
up. The
levels,
whole
got me there.
As soon
I
as I
actually
opened it
wasn't
up,
subscribed until that moment. I said,
Yeah.
Like,
"Bling."
I understand.
all right, everybody, go ahead. This talk to you guys for a minute. And all right, everybody, appreciate y'all all hopping on channels and all that stuff. I'm sure y'all are subscribed to these guys already, but a lot of stuff going on. And until next time, as always, I'm Mark, but we are Legion.